I have here the Attackshark X820 Ultra mechanical keyboard. I have been using this for a few days now for work and gaming just to get a feel of how the keyboard performs overall. And I have to say, it performed at standard levels and I did not find any issues during my testing phase. I use this for gaming and even over wireless, there won't be any delays that you would experience thanks to its low latency 2.4 GHz connectivity. You may even connect this via Bluetooth or via wired mode so it charges while in use. Then this also has NKRO or all key anti-ghosting, so you should not have any issues with key interferences. I love that this keyboard came with a knob so I could adjust volumes on the fly even while gaming so I don't have to alt-tab out of a game. The knob is also used to navigate through the TFT screen. By just pressing the function key and pressing the knob, you can switch between knob controls. And about that customizable TFT screen, we will go over this in more detail in a bit. Anyways, my unit came with 45-gram gift switches, which are a good balance between typing and gaming. You're free to replace them as this has a full hot swap 5-pin or 3-pin compatible PCB with south-facing LEDs. And speaking of LEDs, this keyboard has a lot of lights on it and is all powered by a 4000 mAh battery pack within. I think a 4000 mAh battery pack is just right for a 75% wireless keyboard. And by the way, this has a gasket mounted structure so there's very slight bounce to the keys when bottoming out. Plus, it somehow dampens and promotes a more thocky bottom out sound, but more on this later. The TFT screen that this comes with shows a lot of indicators for the keyboard such as battery levels and so much more. I put a Power Ranger GIF on that using the web-based software for the X820 Ultra, so you don't need to download any software online as you only need your browser and an internet connection to be able to customize your keyboard. And let's go over how to customize that screen. Hi, so I have the software here. All you need to do is go to qmk.top. I'm going to link it down in the description below so you could access the software of the X820 Ultra. Upon opening the software, you have here a tab for display settings. Just click on that and then click on select photo. Now let me open here this GIF that I just downloaded online. You can scroll up to zoom in or scroll down to zoom out. Very easy, right? So say I like this. Just gonna click OK, and then all I need to do is I believe I'm gonna click on write animation. Let's try that, and we're gonna have to wait for some time. Now we have it on our keyboard and it's very easy. That's all you need to do to customize your screen. You can even import an image, but in this case I imported a GIF. Now for the other software settings that we have here, first tab is keyboard settings where you could customize keybinds on your keyboard. You have here combo keys, macro settings. Here's where you change some of the function keys or add in some special keys like media controls and so on. You may even choose to disable a key. All you need to do is just click on the button right here, say Q, and then remap it to any button you want. Now moving on to the other settings right here, there are some basic settings that you could access which are pretty much self-explanatory. Moving on to the function layer settings, all those in red are unchangeable while those in teal already have basic functions attached to them, but you can still change them. So I tried recording a macro here and it seems like it does detect your mouse clicks, which is a good thing. It adds a lot of versatility to your macros. Now, we've already gone through display settings a while back. I'm going to skip over to light settings. You have here light effects and some more light settings right here, such as brightness and RGB mode speed. Moving on to the last tab, this is where you upgrade your firmware. And if you need to do a factory reset, just click on this button right here in the lower right corner. Inside the box, you get the keyboard, cable, key puller combo, documentation, and a dust cover. The cable is generic and I think it would do the job. And as for the PET anti-dust cover, I'm glad they added this in so you could slap it on when not in use to avoid dust buildup. The keyboard has a standard weight, so it isn't too heavy or too light compared to other 75% plastic builds. And tapping underneath, there is some level of hollowness to it, but upon checking, this is a fully dampened keyboard with lots of dampers within. Tapping on the sides of the keyboard, you really will feel the thickness of the top case. Though it's plastic, it does feel sturdy. Moving on to the knob, this is an aluminum knob with textures on it for better grip. It has ample tactility to give you enough feedback for when you twist one level left or right. Looking underneath the keyboard, you get 2 level kick-up feet so you can angle your keyboard for more comfort. And in one of those feet, You have the dongle storage port so you don't lose your dongle when not in use. Underneath is also where you will find the power switch and the layout switch, along with anti-slip padding. The USB-C input is not in the middle of the top side, but is panned more to the right side, which I think is a little weird. So far, I think it's just fine, but it's just unusual for me. Keycaps are double-shot shine-through topographic PBT keycaps in Cherry Profile. I personally love Cherry Profile as it's relatively lower compared to OEM or SA keycaps. This allows me to type more comfortably as I originally grew up using a laptop keyboard, so low profile is best for me. Then, these keycaps are also side-printed shine-through keycaps, so the legends are at the sides of the keycaps instead of the top. We'll go over this in more detail in the next upcoming segments, but I think it looks cool as the legends are fairly large. Onto the stabilizers, they're really tightly placed on the plate, and I love this about the keyboard. Attackshark did a very good job with choosing these stabilizers. There's also very little rattling on the stabilized keys out of the box, and I don't think any further modification is necessary. But if you're rattle sensitive, then re-lubing them with more dielectric grease should quiet down the stabs. The switches that we have here are Attackshark 45-gram gift switches. They feel really smooth and do not feel scratchy, so I think they're really good linear switches. With the 45-gram springs, this is a great balance for gaming and typing as you get fairly light keystrokes and fairly heavy springs, so you don't make a lot of typos. Again, if you don't like these switches, you're free to replace them with any 3-pin or 5-pin switches. However, I think they're good enough. And they sound good too. Listen here. As for the aesthetics of the keyboard, what I have here is a full white with lots of RGB. Thanks to the double-shot side-printed topographic keycaps, this keyboard is very much holiday ready. I like that Attackshark went with south-facing LEDs to match the side-printed shine-through legends. This way, the shine-through legends are directly on top of the LEDs, making them appear brighter and clearer. There's branding on the top case by the right side of the front side, and I think it's just fine as the branding isn't too bothering. Or it isn't too big. As for indicators, all of them are found on the TFT screen. However, Caps Lock shines a static pink when activated. And the same goes for Winlock, which shines the same static pink when activated. You have a light strip on the keyboard above the arrow keys, which I think looks cool and adds a lot of flair to the keyboard. But not only that, the keys in general shine really brightly thanks to the powerful LEDs this has. You can cycle through RGB modes with the function key and backslash, or you could familiarize yourself with navigating through the TFT screen and controlling the entire keyboard's RGB mode from here. I will not go through a tutorial on how this is done as it could take a full 2 minutes of our time, so be sure to keep the manual of the keyboard handy so, in case you need it, you have it. Overall, I love that the keyboard isn't boring, and it just looks really fun to have around your desk. Not only that, it's also very much functional for gaming with 1000Hz polling rate and NKRO, so this will do the job for casual or competitive gaming. Links will be in the description down below, so access them on where to get your Attackshark X820 Ultra. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments section, and we will get to you when we can. I'll see you guys again next time.